Hello, I'm Barry. I'm Brady's grandfather. I'm here today with him. He's going to ask me a few questions, so we'll see what he's got to say. When I was 20 years old, the first question he asked me, I was in the United States Army. I had about a year, 6 months left in service. And thinking then, we already landed on the moon in 1969, so I was thinking more space, astronauts going to the moon, which we did, trying to get to Mars, which we're trying to do today. And coming back from Vietnam and being in the 70s at 20 years old, there's a lot of excitement. And I just hope that there was more ways we could settle things rather than by death somehow. But that's about what I thought when I was in my 20s.
My name is Michelle. I just turned 69 years old, and I am Brady's grandmother. For me, I would have been 20 in 1972. Back in those days, I don't even know if we had remote for the TV. We did start having videos that we could put in a beta system so we could watch movies, but as far as in visualizing where we're at today with technology, I wouldn't have been able to forecast that. So I can't believe where we're at now and where we're heading. And back then, I definitely didn't visualize that at all.
When I was 20 years old, I was thinking about my future. 2021 seemed like a long way off, and that was when I was going to be retired. But my future at 21, which was marriage, family, earning a living, buying a house, just living, 2021 seemed like too far off in the future. My idea when I was 20 was the immediate time, I guess, just the family, and then not so far down the road as to into 2021.
What did I think the year 2021 would be like when I was 20 years old? I don't think I really thought about 2021 very much. At that time, I was just graduated high school, I had a job, I was just starting, I bought my first house, and I was most concerned about more of the present than I was the future. I just figured it would come when it came.
I was asked if there was an event that we wish we could change, and I would say I wish we could undo 9/11. That was horrific. Watching it on TV unfold, we just all stood around in disbelief. It did cost this country lives, it cost us a horrendous amount of money, and we're still battling what the after effects are from that. So that's the one event I definitely like to see reversed.
If there was one thing I could change about humanity, it would be all the violence in the world. Not only just in wars, but right here in our own country, all the gun violence, the killing, even here on our own streets.
Me personally, I would change my goals. Being in the military, that was great. That was one of the steps to my goal. But it teaches you leadership, courage, and the reality in life. To answer that question, I'd say I would like to be President of the United States.
Well, the one thing I think I wish could be changed from the past is that people could be nicer to each other. And ever since I've been a kid, I don't think that's happened. I think that the majority of the people in the world are nice, but there's a few people that can really be evil, and you just have to learn to stay away from those people, I think. When we were in high school, 1968, they had the Democratic Convention. It was either in Detroit or Chicago. I think it was Detroit. And they had riots and stuff there. And today we have the same thing going on at the Capitol building. So, everybody thinks that the good old days were great, but the good old days were just the good old days, and today is today. So it's all relevant to when you're alive, and you always think, back in your past that life was better, but I don't really think it was better, it was just different.
A piece of advice I would like to give to the young generation is to have a good work ethic in order to have the money to travel, to do things, to have what you need to enjoy your life.
Well, I'd like to recommend that they pay attention in history class and civics class and pay attention to what the foundation of this country is all about. Then I would recommend put your cell phones down and look at your surroundings. Back when I grew up, we didn't have cell phones. We had to use maps. We had to just trust our instincts, and we survived. But I think this generation is missing too much by being too zoned in to their cell phones. And I would recommend that you pay more attention to your surroundings.
If I could give today's generation one piece of advice, which for me is hard to do, I would tell them, don't worry about growing up so fast. When I was a kid, I spent my whole youth trying to be older, look older, act older, and the older I got, the more I tried to look younger, act younger, be younger. I think the best thing is just to be yourself at all times and enjoy who you are. Don't worry about your limitations, because you'll learn over time everything just works itself out one way or the other.
What kind of advice could I give to my grandson Brady's generation? Well, I tell you, I could be here a long time and give you all kind of advice. There's so many different words out there for advice, but make sure it's good advice. The word is pay attention out there. My advice is pay attention. The news, what you hear, who you're hearing it from. Watch all the different newscasts so you can get an opinion from all of them, not just one. Look at all of them, no matter what they stand for. Look at all of them, listen. Then look at the reality, what's going on in the world today. What is true, what is false. So that's one thing I would say, pay attention. That would be about the best advice I can give you today. Pay attention.